Mental health has gotten a lot of attention in recent years, and with the harmful effects of social media, amongst many other things starting to take their toll, there's been a priority placed on self-care. But what about financial self-care? At the same time, we're facing catastrophic student loan debt, historically low wages, and an inflated housing market, to name just a few things. Financial self-care means building a healthy relationship with your money, developing good habits, and creating clarity in your financial life so you can feel good about your money. I am and always will be a believer that personal finance is 90% personal and 10% finance. And with that, I believe it's important to practice financial self-care just as we should practice regular self-care, and these are 7 ways to do so. First, you've got to have conversations. For as long as money has existed, there's been a stigma around talking about it. It's frowned upon to talk about salaries at work, parents usually don't have money conversations with their kids, and you probably don't go out and hang out with your friends and talk about your net worth. It's understandable, and I'm not saying that you should go out and tell your salary to strangers or share your net worth on Twitter, but there's a lot of good that can happen from conversation. For example, when I was working at my last job, I found out that a coworker who I was friends with that had started the job after me, had less experience than me, was earning $10,000 more than I was. Had we not had a conversation around it, I would have never known, and it definitely didn't change anything because I was planning to leave the company anyways, and I definitely didn't resent this person, like they're just out there getting their bread, but it opened my eyes to 2 things. First, it showed me how easy an employee can be taken advantage of by a company's lack of transparency and shunning of conversations around salary. Second, it showed me how important it is to have conversations to avoid getting stuck in a spot where you aren't getting paid what you're worth. So by having conversations around money, you might learn something new, or you might even discover a new opportunity that leads to a better financial future. Second, it's important to create meaningful goals because without direction, it's hard to know what actions to take. Trying to get ahead financially without goals is like starting a road trip with no phone and no gas. Goals not only give you a North Star to work towards, but they also reinforce the meaning behind the actions that you're taking. For example, if your parents told you that you needed to save money, that message probably wouldn't result in much action. But if you set a goal of saving $200 a month so you could afford your dream vacation in 2 years, you're much more likely to save that $200 every month because you created a tangible goal for yourself and there's a reward at the end of the road. Third, it's important to address known problems. From my own experience, a common cause of anxiety is lack of action when you know that action needs to be taken. A 2016 study found that 85% of Americans reported feeling some level of anxiety around their money, and a majority said that this caused negative impacts on their health, social lives, and careers. While financial anxiety is a common problem, one way to address it is scheduling a money date with yourself or your partner. Unfortunately, a money date isn't as exciting as a normal date, but it lets you have some dedicated time to review your finances and slowly start working towards solving the problem. You may also want to meet with a financial therapist because just like a normal therapist, a money therapist helps you develop a better relationship with your money. By taking action and addressing known problems, you can start working towards solutions and ultimately building a better mindset and a better relationship around your money. Next, don't be afraid to ask for help because asking for help is not only a form of financial self-care, but self-care in general. Personally, I'm guilty of always trying to figure things out on my own for whatever reason, but I'm slowly finding out that you can go so much farther simply by asking others for help. Depending on what you believe you need help with, there are definitely professionals out there to assist, whether it be a financial therapist or a financial planner. Someone's going to be available to help you take that next step. And one of the last ways to practice financial self-care is investing in your future and in yourself. And when you hear the word investing, I'm sure the first thing that comes to mind is the stock market. But by definition, investing is the allocation of resources, usually money, time, or energy, with the expectation of a future benefit. So this means that buying a self-help book is an investment. Taking a class or a course to learn a new skill is also an investment. Upgrading your work from home space so that you can have a more enjoyable, productive work experience, investment. Reading an hour each day to expand your knowledge, investment. Working out a few times each week, investment. By investing in yourself, you're also investing in a better future. And I'm not going to dive into it in this video, but you do also want to set aside some money for long-term investments as well. Next, one of the easiest and most impactful ways to practice financial self-care is putting your money on autopilot. We're all humans, we all have flaws, and it's easy to forget to save money or make investments every month. However, by using some of the technologies available to us, such as automated bank transfers and automated investment deposits, we can remove the human error and automate our good money habits. And the last way to practice financial self-care is don't be too hard on yourself. If you don't follow your budget perfectly, it's okay. If you haven't invested as much as you think you should have, it's okay. It's important to always remember that money is nothing more than a tool to get you where you want to be. It doesn't define who you are, and having less of it doesn't make you less of a person than someone who has a multi-million-dollar trust fund. At the end of the day, we're all really just trying to figure out life, and just because it might feel like someone else is farther ahead because they have more money, that doesn't mean that you're a failure. Comparison kills confidence, and when it comes to your money, those feelings can be detrimental.